Hello and welcome to episode 52 of Speak Free with MattyG. Joined here today by a very special guest. We got Taylor Mills in, aka Millscanride on Instagram and YouTube. You got a page. You make great content. You're a content creator. You're a scooter rider. We'll talk a bit about that today and your journey with that. And we'll also delve into a little bit of childhood trauma that you went through in your family. And we'll talk about that as well, because I think there's a lot to learn from that.
Yeah.
And we're also going to talk a bit about drug use. Yeah. And let's be open and honest about that, because I've talked about it a lot on here as well. So I'm keen to delve into that with you.
Yeah, definitely.
But take me back. When did you first ride a scooter? What age were you, and how did that become such a big part of your life?
So I think I was about 7 years old. I was at a caravan park. It was Christmas, and my mum or my nan bought me a scooter, bought me and my two brothers one. And I was pretty much like the only one that rode it, like consistently, just everywhere. And then, I just got hooked on it. And then, it was just the best thing ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I guess as a kid, it just feels so free with things like that, hey? Like I remember when I first learned to ride a bike, and I was like, this is the fucking most hectic thing in the world,
it's so fun,
Because you feel so accomplished, you know what I mean? And I feel like with scooter riding, especially when you're first starting, not that I was ever into it, but I feel like, it would be about constantly learning, constantly getting better, eh? Like constantly trying to hit a trick or whatever. And doing that. Like I've talked to Nick about it as well, and he's like, that's a huge part of the reason why he got into videography, because he wanted to film himself on his scooter and shit like that, And then obviously it morphed into, everything else it became. But when did you start taking it a little bit more seriously? So
I think it was about, I don't know the actual year, but it was at like a time when I was going to MattyG. It's like out west, 3 hours from here. And they have like back then they had a thing called Newton's Nation, and it was like a competition thing where all these pro riders would come to this skate park. And anyway, I just coincidentally was there. And then they had what's his name, Wazza and Chris Hart. I think Cody Donovan might have been there too. But
shout out Wazza.
Yeah, for sure. Shout out Wazza.
Legend.
And then I was just riding, and then I seen Wazza just riding. I was just like, fuck, this is sick. Like I want to do this for sure. And then at that moment I was just like, yeah, sick. And then that's when I was just like full into it. Like I want to get better and better.
And what age were you then?
I would have probably been about maybe 10, maybe 9 or 10.
Yeah,
something
right.
like that, yeah. It was when I just got like a little bit better of a scooter, and I was still like just only dropping in, and I wasn't even really doing tail whips.
How fucking big was scooter riding back then, eh? Like I remember my brother was heaps into it, and he would go to like the bike shop and get like, the different handlebars and the different wheels put on it and shit, like modded up and that. And that was like a big thing back in the day.
It was massive. It was the best feeling too.
I remember when Northo first got a skate park at North Richmond.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh cunt.
Yeah.
We're them. We've made it. We've made it. We've got a fucking skate park in our backyard. And at the time, me and my brother, like, we lived just up the road. Like, you could walk to the park from our house.
Yeah.
So it was hectic just going down there and just, even just to chill down there. And it was such a vibe. It's so good for the community, I feel.
Yeah, definitely. 100%.
I would
Especially
say,
like that time, there was no phones or anything like that.
Exactly.
So
kids were actually outside playing.
Yeah. Definitely.
Some of my best fucking memories as a kid is from like just playing with like neighbors' kids.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
And you'll just do stupid shit, like go to the grumpy old cunt's house and do knock and run and like shit like that.
Definitely. Just
but like kids were out doing that. And now like I look at like if my little cousin, for instance, like my cousin's kid, like he's always just like talking to everyone just on the games, and that's hanging out. You know? It's none of this like go out and just like get amongst it with the neighbors. Like it's not the same anymore, but back then it was. Do you think the state of like skating, scooter riding in Australia has dipped because of that, or do you think it's still growing, or what's been your like sort of take on that?
I think it has gotten a little bit like slowed down a little bit, and obviously because like the games and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, like you look at like different countries, for example, like the UK, America, all them places, and they've just got these insane setups, like indoor skate parks. Like you got Woodward, Adrenaline Alley, all that sort of stuff. And, you know, we got like 3 indoors, like,
Yeah.
and that's like over the space of like 3 hours apart. So it's so hard to get around there. Like,
I know.
I feel like that's
indoor
a big
skate
part of
parks are
it.
so hectic. You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of like Tony Hawk.
Yeah,
Like
definitely.
the games.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was hectic.
Yeah,
They were
it's
the
a
best
vibe.
fucking games, God.
Yeah, for sure.
They remade them, didn't they, for PS5?
I think so, yeah.
Fuck, I got to get my hands on them. That's
Yeah, for
fucking
sure.
hectic. But yeah, it is. What I've got from it, right? I've never been involved in the skating community whatsoever. But having like Wazza on and that, and what the vibe I got is like there is such a community spirit within that. There's so much support for each other, and I feel like it's different to a lot of other sports out there. You know, because it is more extreme. I think there's such a respect for everyone that's wanting to do it, because you are really putting your body on the line when you go for a fucking trick or something.
Oh yeah,
you know?
definitely, yeah.
You can injure yourself a lot more easier than you can in probably like footy or soccer or anything like that.
Yeah.
And I think there's a lot of competitive, I'd say negative competitive spirit in other sports.
Yeah.
You know, it's good to be competitive for sure. And I'm all for fucking hating your opposition, right? Like, I think you should hate your opposite number.
Yeah.
You know? I think that's fucking, you know, what it's all about.
Yeah.
But I think in terms of like, as an individual sport, like tennis, for instance, so much bitterness and, you know, between like opponents. Whereas I think with like skating is like, fuck yeah, that's hectic. And 100%. You see it like at an Olympic level as well, like the amount of support they have, like they're like, you know, whatever it may be, you know, Winter Olympics, for instance, like snowboarding, like the other competitors who've already gone, they're waiting down the bottom, they're watching the next guys run.
Yeah.
And there's just so much like love, I feel, in those sort of sports. And yeah, I don't know. Have you felt that? Did you feel that like growing up in like being involved in the skating community?
Yeah, definitely. I think especially like back in the day, there was like when you would like for me, for example, when I was younger, you'd look at like all the pros back then, and like a lot of the pros back then were like, I don't know, I kind of got the vibe that a lot of them thought that they were better than everyone else. Like, to be honest, sorry if that makes you upset, but yeah. And then and then like, I don't know, like I think something happened, and then like everyone just sort of dipped off. Like all the older riders sort of just started doing their own thing, and then the new riders come up, and then everyone was just so much more friendly, like with everyone. Like, you know, you get like some of the best riders in the world, and they're just like so friendly to the young people. Don't get me wrong, there was some like really nice, friendly, like older riders back then too, but just a lot of them were just pricks. Like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? But yeah, so.
Yeah, different times, eh? I think. Yeah, I think probably now there's, you know, obviously a lot of it is to do with social media and TikTok and that. And I think that's probably helped grow that side of the sport.
Yeah.
I think, but also because kids are so on their phone all the time now, and every kid's got a fucking iPhone, and you know, or they're on the PlayStation and that. I think it's sort of hurt that sort of natural community vibe to it of like get out there and just try shit.
Yeah.
But you know, I think there is still a lot of people out there. Like from what was telling me, like there's still a lot of kids out there that are wanting to do it, especially now that the Olympics is, you know, got these more extreme sports involved, like, you know, whether it be BMX or skateboarding and that, it's part of the Olympics now.
Yeah.
Which I think is hectic. That's so sick.
Yeah, it's
like,
so cool.
What's that Australian guy? Didn't he win gold at the Olympics?
Ryan Williams?
No, what's his fucking name? Keegan Palmer?
Maybe.
The skateboarder?
Yeah, maybe. I
Little
think,
blonde guy?
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
Yeah, he's an Aussie, I think.
Yeah.
But he moved over to the States.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
But that's hectic. Like kids can actually attain, I feel like now, like skating, you know, it was quite niche before. I feel like it's a lot more mainstream now.
Yeah.
Because they can see like a goal, you know, they can go to the Olympics.
Yeah, it's so achievable.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's sick. Now we'll talk about obviously your Instagram page and that. You're telling me off air you started that sort of during COVID times, was it?
Yeah. So it was like,
this podcast started during COVID as well.
yeah, right.
Yeah,
All good things
I was
started
fed
in
up
COVID.
with the fucking government.
Yeah.
Fuck those cunts, mate.
So yeah, like I was pretty much doing nothing. Like I was just smoking weed every day. And then when was it? It was, COVID hit. I was just smoking weed, and then me and Juzzy wanted to hang out. We hang out like every day, and then the only way you could actually do it was to just either buy a bike or buy a scooter and go to the skate park or just ride around. So we did that.
Because it's like exercise, right?
Yeah. So we bought a bike for some reason, and then we just rode around. And then we rode past the skate park, and we're like, "What the fuck are we doing? Like, we can actually ride there and do tricks." So bang, went down there. We rode around for a bit, and then we went to. They got like a basketball court next to the skate park.
Where's this at?
At Cranebrook.
At Cranebrook, yep.
And then we were just sitting there one night smoking, and then this cop pulled up, and we were just like nervous as all fuck. And then what happened after that? And then I think like 10, 15 minutes after that, Juzzy was just saying like we should just do it, like just make content. And I was just like, yeah, that sounds pretty cool. And then I never really thought much onto it because when TikTok first started, I thought it was not good. Like, I don't know, I just didn't think much of it. And then...
You know what? I felt the exact same way about TikTok as well.
Yeah,
I was like, I'm never getting that.
Yeah.
What are you all doing? Watching 6-second videos on your fucking phone like a fucking NPC cunt.
Yeah.
And now I'm just like,
yeah. I reckon I've scrolled kilometers on the app.
Yeah, 100%. I've probably gone around the world cunt on that app.
Yeah,
you know?
for sure. Yeah, and then I made a video and then posted it. I think I made like 3 videos, and then like the 4th video I posted just went crazy. I got like 180k views.
Yeah, that's mad.
That day. It was mad. I was like, fuck yeah, this is sick.
I know, you're like, am I famous now?
Yeah.
I think I'm famous.
And then after that, I made like a few more videos, and then I seen what was like going harder, and I was just like, oh, sick. All right, well, I'll start doing this more. And then pretty much it just took off. Like, yeah, no, it was mad.
Yeah, that's sick. And yeah, I must say, like, you know, TikTok is such a good way to reach people.
Definitely.
Like, I can't do this podcast without TikTok. No way.
Yeah,
you know, like I'm not saying all my fucking videos do well, but like I had a guy come into my work the other day. Like I work at a car yard. And he's like, do I know you from somewhere? And I was like, I don't know, bro. You tell me. I was like, I don't know you. And he's like, are you on TikTok? And I was like, yeah, bro. I was like, I've got a podcast. And he's like, I've definitely seen it on my For You page. And I was like, hectic. Like this is a guy, he was from Wollongong area, but he was like up in Cronulla, like Cronulla. That's where I work, like the Shire. And yeah, he'd seen my fucking podcast on his fucking TikTok. And I was like, sick. That's crazy because, you know, while I'd love for everyone to come and actually watch a full episode, the reality is that's probably not going to happen for most people, right?
Yeah.
But if I can reach people and they can see snippets and stuff, you know, they may come over and watch a full episode.
Yeah, definitely.
It's a great way. Like, it's a great tool.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's sick. So you've been doing that on there for what is it now? Probably 3 years, 4 years?
Yeah, it'd be coming up to like 3 years, I think.
Yeah, sick. Yeah.
About 3 years. Probably 4 now. I don't know. I'm getting old.
I know, and that time is such a blur anyway. That fucking
definitely.
I feel like I didn't even live for a couple of years there.
Yeah.
To be honest, I was still going out and doing shit. Fuck, nothing's gonna stop me. Yeah, fuck that.
100%.
Wearing masks, shove it up your ass, cunt. I even got a fucking letter and shit signed, like a what's it called? I forget the fucking name of the document, but to say I didn't need to wear a mask.
Yeah.
And the reason I gave was because I was involved in a car accident and I was trapped in a car, and it reminds me of that.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
So yeah, it was all bullshit. I don't have trauma from that. But I didn't want to wear a mask. Fuck that.
Yeah, hard.
They didn't even work anyway.
Yeah, hard out.
I'll happily admit that. Come find me now, cunt. I don't give a fuck, mate. What crazy times. But I think the good parts of COVID that came from it was, especially during lockdown, was creativity. There was so much creativity because everyone finally had time.
Yeah.
Time to actually think and go, what the fuck do I want? What do I actually want out of life? What do I want to achieve? And sometimes that's all you need. You just need a break away from everything and to go, what do I actually fucking want? And that's when I started this. That's when you started your thing. And like, that's really cool. Like, that's cool to me. That's cool as fuck.
Yeah, it's so sick.
Yeah.
It's like a life-changing thing.
Now, you said you were smoking weed at the time. Are you still a pot smoker now? Or
No, I've been clean for like 2 years.
Yeah, congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, from everything? Clean from everything?
Yeah, everything.
Yeah, still drinks. Do you still drink?
I have a drink every now and then.
Yeah, crack open a beer.
For sure, let's do it.
Crack open a Strider, crisp and refreshing lager, the official beer of Speak Free. Oh, how good does that sound on the fucking
crispy,
mic? Oh, cheers, brother.
Cheers.
It's actually good beer, and I'm not just saying that because they're giving me free beer, but it's actually fucking nice beer.
That's actually a good beer.
It is good beer.
That's nice. Yeah,
it's good.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
100%.
So what sort of things do you want to achieve out of what you've what you're doing on social media. What do you want out of it?
I mean, I don't know, actually, to be honest. I just do it every day and just have fun with it. But I mean, if I could see like an ending that could work out mad, would be like, I don't know, acting, something like that. Like, yeah, acting, get heaps rich from it and invest. And
Yeah.
I don't know. There's so many opportunities. Yeah.
And is it like, do you have like a lot of young people who are skating and stuff, or they're riding scooters? Are they following you and they're getting? Yeah, that's mad. See, like you could even do with that. Like you could even do, turn it into a bit of a, a learning tool.
Yeah,
for
definitely.
young riders.
Yeah, definitely.
And be a bit of a voice for them. You
Yeah,
know?
for sure.
And especially because a lot of them would be in the same predicament as you. They're probably living the same sort of life.
Yeah.
That you were living at the time. You know, it's part of. I wouldn't even say it's part of skating culture. It's part of Australian growing up culture is to try drugs and do that
definitely.
sort of thing. And I think
especially at a young age too.
Especially at a young age, right? Like, and I think when I hear people who've like tried fucking drugs for the first time when they're like 22, I'm like, what?
Yeah, you're like, don't believe me.
Yeah, I'm like, are you sure you didn't do it when you're like fucking 15? Like, like any normal cunt. But you'll see those people. Those people are the ones that go off the rails when they're like 23.
Yeah, 100%.
Because they've like held back their whole life.
Yeah, like this is crazy. Yeah.
They have,
people like us have done it and we're just
they have one
kind of
bump of
shit
coke and they're like,
yeah,
I'm
definitely.
like, fuck, do coke overseas, cunt. It's not even good in Australia.
Yeah.
It's cut to the shit house. But I will, let's talk about drugs because, look, I've done every drug under the sun.
Yeah, right.
Except heroin. Scared of needles. No, I wouldn't do that either. Like, that's fucked up. That's a next level. But I've done a lot of amphetamines. I think the first drug I ever did was a weed cookie.
Yeah, right.
During like Spirit Week at school.
Yeah.
I don't know why they were being sold. But I remember my mate was like, just eat half, like, because you've never done it before. Just eat half and then wait. Well, he didn't tell me how long to wait. So
and it rocked.
I waited like 20 minutes and I was like, I feel nothing. So I ate the other half. Oh, bruh. I was fucked, eh?
Yeah.
I'm on my way to school. It was a Thursday, I remember. I'm on my way to school sport, which I was doing aqua golf at the time. So we like got on a bus from Colo High, like at Northo, and drove all the way to Penrith Aqua Golf. And I'm on the bus like,
just zooted out.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm not even going to do this aqua golf shit. I'm too fucking stoned, bro. It was crazy.
Yeah.
And then I remember just going home after that and just sleeping. I think I went straight to bed and just slept the whole night, eh? Until the next morning.
Yeah.
Went to school the next day. I'm like, what the fuck happened?
Oh, yeah, you get a mad sleep off it.
But I feel like, it's funny because there's always like the thing is like, weed's not a gateway drug. It's not really a gateway drug. I feel it is.
Yeah, definitely.
I feel it definitely is. I feel it is. I feel like that's like the first one people try, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And then you want to get a bit more adventurous. So I think the next thing I did after that was like MDMA at my year 10 after party.
Yeah.
For formal after party. And I remember it was just straight like rock. It wasn't capped up or anything.
Yeah.
And I had that. And there's nothing like your first time doing M.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Nothing
it's crazy.
like it.
Yeah.
It's like the most magical, beautiful, crazy experience of your life. And then you come down and you realize,
oh, it's the worst.
The
Hell on
fucking
earth.
worst, right?
And then the week after, it's just terrible.
It's terrible, right?
Yeah.
And like I've got mates who do M who don't really get a bad come down, but I've always got a bad come down from M. I always do, like no matter what. And it's weird now. I don't get fucked up from M the way I used to.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like my serotonin receptors have actually been shot to shit.
Yeah. Just doesn't hit the same.
It doesn't hit the same. And like I could go years without, like probably 2 years without doing M, do it, and it's still not the same as it used to be. It's weird. I think it does actually fry your receptors in your brain.
Yeah, definitely.
From doing it a lot. Like, I think that's a real thing.
I think mine are.
Yeah, I think it's hard to be like, to have that level of happiness again.
Yeah,
like,
definitely. 100%. Yeah.
Whereas like mushies I'm all for. I would actually go as far to say I endorse mushrooms because they don't have a bad effect.
Yeah.
I don't get a come down from them. I have a great high, and then the next day I've got this afterglow and I'm like, this is hectic.
Yeah.
But in saying that, don't do it all the time.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, definitely.
Twice a year.
Yeah. You have a good trip and you take it as that.
Yeah, take it as that. And the thing I like about it too, like, you don't feel like doing it again after you do it.
Yeah.
Because you're kind of just chilling.
It's like a seasonal thing.
Yeah, it's definitely a seasonal thing.
Definitely.
Because you wait till picking season, you're like,
for sure.
that's the shit. But that's cool that, like, obviously I don't want to like talk up drugs too much because I want to get into the reality of it. I've had some dark fucking times with that too, you know.
Yeah.
Real dark times. I went sober last year.
Yeah.
For a good solid 3.5 months.
Yeah, nice.
Then I went to Magic Round up in Brisbane and
Yeah.
went to shit.
You got us.
But I spent a lot of money and drank a lot of alcohol. But alcohol's never been really my problem. You know? It's always been drugs.
Yeah, same with me. Like I could get like drunk for like a whole week and I'd be fine. But then like, I'd have like one cone and I'd just be back on it for like 2 years.
Yeah. And would you go as far to say like weed is addictive in itself?
I think it depends who you are and like how you take it. I've got an addictive personality, but I don't know. It's like with everything. Like I think I first smoked when I was like 15 or maybe a little bit younger.
Yeah.
And then I never really did it after that. And then I think when I was like 16 or 17 and then I just did it and then I just got stuck doing it every day for like 5 or 6 years. And then I had a break and then I got back on it and then I had a break and got back on it and now I'm off it because I just know how fucked it is. Like,
yeah. And what do you think, what are some of the fucked effects for you personally on a personal level?
Yeah.
Is it like, do you feel lazy on it? Do you feel like you don't get anything done? Is it like the motivation goes away to get anything done?
Nah, I was pretty active on it. Like I would go out and do stuff. I wasn't the most active person. I wouldn't really go out drinking or anything like that because it was just a bit too loud for me. But I was always like going out to the plaza or going getting stuff and like, but it was just the side effects I got was just like the paranoia, like near schizophrenic, like, and it was
and
bad.
That's the thing, right? And this is the thing. I'm happy to see weed decriminalized.
Yeah,
right?
definitely.
I don't think people should be in jail for fucking weed, right?
Yeah.
But I think we've also got to have a serious fucking conversation about the reality that schizophrenia and marijuana use are heavily linked.
Yeah.
Heavily fucking linked.
Yeah.
And I know people who've smoked weed their whole life who are fucking crazy now.
Yeah.
And that's all they've done. It's not like they've got on the meth or they've got on the fucking heroin or anything like that. It's just from pot.
Mm-hmm.
And they've just gone too far. And I think that's what people forget. Would I say there's certain types of weed that are a lot safer than others? 100%. I think when you get the hydro shit, I think that can really fuck you up a lot more.
Yeah. That's pretty much all I smoked.
and that's the thing, right? And that's because it's illegal. That's why.
Yep.
And that's why we all smoked it.
Yeah.
Because that's what you fucking get.
Yeah.
You know? Unless you're growing it yourself, like, and that's fucking rare as a 15-year-old, you know? Got some fucking, got some entrepreneurs up in this bitch. But I think that is like, if it was regulated,
yeah, definitely.
it's safer for everyone.
Yeah.
It's safer for everyone.
Like more controlled, for sure.
More controlled, 100%. Do I think all drugs should be that? No.
Yeah.
Fuck no. I think like...
You don't want no controlled meth or anything.
Yeah,
like
I don't think
that,
you should be able to go to a chemist and just get a fucking couple points of meth and fucking start fucking just walk around with an ice pipe and fucking...
Nah, it's legal, G. It's all good.
That shit would be crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, the world would be fucking mental then.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think with pot, if you regulate it and it's not hydro, it's it's properly grown. I think it's totally fine.
Yeah.
And the plant itself is fucking incredible.
Yeah.
Like things made out of hemp.
Yeah. It has some great benefits.
Ever.
Yeah.
Huge benefits.
Yeah.
Even just like what is it? CBD.
Yeah.
CBD. Like, so that's non-THC. It doesn't get you high, right? But that has so many benefits for like joint pain.
Yeah.
And, just pain in general. Like someone's a cancer patient, like they'll have that. Like I'm all for that. I'm all
definitely.
for that. But I think there is a definite link between mental health problems and pot smoking, along with all other drugs as well.
Yeah.
But schizophrenia for sure. I think, paranoia that's why I stopped. I was getting very paranoid. I used to smoke a lot of weed.
Yeah.
Heaps of weed. And it's such a turn off for me now, eh?
Yeah.
Like, in saying that, I really like my uppers as well. I like to get fucked up and just like keep cooking all night long, you know what I'm saying?
100%.
But yeah, that's what it was for me. I was like, I think when I was like 17, definitely when I was 17, when I had my license, I was smoking a lot of pot.
Yeah.
Driving stoned.
Oh yeah, I used to drive stoned all the time. Billy in the car, just go to the skate park, smoke, go ride for half an hour, come back up, smoke.
Yeah, and how crazy is driving on it? Like you feel like you're doing 120 Ks and you're doing 30.
Yeah, it's the most relaxing thing ever.
Yeah, it would take me forever to get anywhere because I'd be driving so far under the fucking speed limit. But but so that's the main reason you wanted to stop, was it the paranoia and that, or?
Yeah, I got heaps skinny too. I was down to like 60 kilos.
Yeah,
I was tiny. Yeah, like just not eating. I was just spending all my money on pot.
Yeah.
I was just, it wasn't good.
It is crazy, eh? Because if you smoke just every now and then, you'll get the munchies hard and you'll eat fucking the whole fucking pantry out.
100%.
But if you're smoking all the time, I had a mate like that as well. I mean, he's still my mate now, but he doesn't smoke pot anywhere near as much as he used to. But back then, he was so skinny too.
Yeah.
And I think it speeds up your metabolism as well.
Definitely,
right?
yeah.
It would, hey?
Yeah, for sure.
Never happened to me, unfortunately. That's all right. I tried. But yeah, and was it just weed for you, or did you experiment with a lot of other drugs when you were
I had like a bit of an MDMA phase. So I was just eating a heap of MDMA, and then again, while I was on MDMA, I was smoking. Pretty much everything I did, I was smoking, and then ate heaps of smoked, then lived that out for like a year. I was right off that, and then I had like a bit of a coke phase, and then that was just expensive. Went broke off that, so got off that real quick.
I feel like coke is really easy to get off.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Because you realize, I don't have any fucking money.
Yeah, you're just like, I'm not spending $300 on that, like.
Yeah, and it's just not worth it. It's not worth the 300.
Yeah.
If it was fucking mind blowing,
I
probably would spend it.
Yeah, for sure. And then I had like acid and mushrooms, and I think that's all for now. I think I did. Yeah.
Yeah. Acid is fucking. That's a fucking.
It's cool.
It's cool as fuck.
Yeah.
It's cool as fuck. But fuck, it's a journey.
Yeah.
You got to be locked in.
Definitely.
You got to be locked the fuck in.
You got to be ready for it too. Yeah.
You do. Yeah. Mentally ready. 100%.
Yeah, definitely.
Because, you can have a fucking bad trip.
Yeah.
Pretty easily.
Definitely.
Someone starts saying the wrong thing. With people you trust too. Someone tries to fuck with you on it. Oh,
bad.
I hate that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's very easy to get stuck and lost in that for sure. But if you're the right people and you're doing the right things, like, it can be a mad experience.
I feel like, I don't know how to explain this, but with the amount of drugs I've put in my body over the years, I feel like I must be like a superhuman or something, because I've never like I'm still smart. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
Like I know a lot of people that went down the same path I sort of went down, that ended up a lot more fucked up than me.
Yeah.
And it's nothing against them at all. I think it's just drugs, right? They have a different effect on different people. And some people get carried away. And I think the moment for me, and the moment that made me go sober, was I started to lose a little bit of grip of reality.
Yeah.
I was doing dexamphetamine, right? Dexies.
Yeah.
God. Every weekend, at least, probably throughout the week, most times as well,
right.
to get me through work and shit.
Yeah.
I'm not ADHD. Well, not diagnosed ADHD anyway.
Yeah.
I've probably given myself ADHD from how many fucking Dexies I've had. But for me, it was, it just became not fun anymore. It felt like a need, right?
Yeah.
And that's the point I was like, okay, I'm fucking like, what was it? I came back from a festival over New Year's, and then there was a tennis tournament on in Sydney. I went to a tennis match, and I was like, I bought Dexies for it. And I got there and I'm eating Dexies watching tennis, and I'm like, what the fuck am I actually doing right now?
Yeah.
What the fuck am I doing right now?
You don't even realize you're doing it. You're just like,
it was like I needed these for this. And then I realized what I'm actually doing. I'm fucking watching tennis with my mate who's sober.
Eating Dexies.
Eating Dexies. For what? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that was the moment where I went, all right, I'm changing. I'm actually, next weekend, I just want to get through one weekend sober. Just one weekend.
Yeah.
I was like, if I can do that, then I can do another weekend.
Yeah.
And another weekend. And then I put it up there and I was like, you know what? I'm going to do 100 days. 100 days. And I fucking did it. And I'm proud of myself,
good
you
shit,
know?
bro.
No drinking at all. And
Yeah.
I'm a photographer.
Yeah.
So I'm out at the pubs all the time doing
Yeah.
photography gigs during this
Yeah.
time, right? Hard.
Yeah, it would be.
That's
Seeing everyone
fucking
else having
hard.
like a mad time and you're just like,
And they want to talk to you. And I'm like, I've just realized how fucking boring this cunt is when I'm not off my head.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and yeah, it was hard for me. But I feel like now I can control it a lot better. You know, I can go out and have fun. I'm not going to say I'm against drug use. I still do it, you know, on the occasion. Like I've got a mate's bucks on today. I'm definitely going to get on it. So.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah. But I know that I can like reel it back, you know, if I need to.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah, it's good to have that control,
Yeah.
you know.
I don't think I got that, eh?
Full sobriety just doesn't work for me.
yeah.
It was too much. It was just like, yeah, I want to be able to, you know, enjoy myself
Yeah.
when I want to enjoy myself and
Yeah.
sort of let loose when I want to let loose. But it's just about not making sure that doesn't become a problem again.
Yeah.
And if it does, you know, sober again for 3 months, you know.
Yeah. No, that's good, Bart.
Yeah. Well, but congrats to you. Like that's fucking, and you were smoking like every day, right?
Every day, yeah.
That's a big thing to give
Before
up.
work, yeah.
It's almost like grieving someone. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah,
it's like
definitely.
it's like a loss of someone in your life.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
it
for
becomes
sure.
that such a, you know, it's such a habit.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never realized how bad I was on it until like the first night that I didn't do it. And I was just like, fuck.
Yeah, were you tossing and turning the whole night?
I didn't sleep at all.
Yeah.
Like the whole night I was up just
know.
watching YouTube videos.
God, you may as well have eaten Dexies, cunt.
Definitely.
Fucking good time. I'm going to stay
100%.
up anyway. No, I'm really kidding. But that's, how do you feel like mentally now that you've been off it for what'd you say, 2 years? Was it?
Yeah, it's like 2 years, but yeah, I feel good.
Yeah.
I feel good, yeah.
Like clear in the head,
oh, yeah.
more motivated
More
to
motivated.
get shit done.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't have any paranoia, which is good. Get a little bit here and there, but it's not that bad, yeah.
Yeah, and explain that to me. What sort of paranoia were you facing at the time? Like what were you paranoid about, or was it sort of like, it would just come when you smoked? It could be about anything, or was it about something in particular?
I think because I used to smoke in my car and like I would like go out, film a vlog for YouTube, and then I'd come home and I'd just edit it and I'd be up editing for like 6 hours just on my phone and I'd be smoking. And then I did that for so long. And then it got to a point where I started like seeing people around the car and I was like, what the fuck's going on? And then I ended up like flipping out. So I went into the garage, smoked there for like 2 months, and then I started hearing people like coming up the driveway and stuff, and I was just like, oh, this isn't good. And then Juzzy came over one day when I was just smoking and I just had like an axe waiting for me. Like I was just, and he's just like, dude, that's fucking not good, eh? Yeah. I was just like, yeah, fuck, true. Went away for like 2 weeks and I just quit. And yeah, it's been good ever since.
That's good, man. That's
Yeah.
good. And how long did it take for you before you felt sort of like, see, when I went sober, it never truly felt like this was my new life. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It felt like it was a goal I was doing. Does this now feel like your new life, being over 2 years or whatever, however long it has been?
Yeah.
Does it feel like, okay, I'm a guy who doesn't smoke now? Is that how it feels for you? Or is it like still like I'm trying not to smoke?
I get the urge here and there, but like I think it really hit me because when I went away and I quit, I was away for like 2 weeks, and when I came back, and like I got some like really supportive mates, and when I come back and they were just like, yeah, that's mad, like you don't smoke, and I was just like, yeah, I don't, like this is the new life. So it was like 2 weeks after.
Yeah, that's
like,
good. And it's
yeah.
good you have mates that are supportive, because
Yeah, definitely.
I feel like that can be the hardest thing, right? It's about environment. A lot of it's to do with environment.
Yeah.
And I feel like if you have people around you who are continually doing it, or who pay you out for wanting to stop, or call you, you know, some people can be just fucking awful. Like,
Yeah.
call you a bitch, or oh, you're a fucking pussy, you've changed, blah, 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 blah. Those are the people you need to get the fucking fuck out of your life.
Definitely.
100%.
Definitely.
Because, okay, I'm not against people doing stuff, but I think if you can't support a mate who's trying to change for the better, then you're not a fucking mate, you know?
Yeah.
So that's really good to hear that you had really good people around you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like obviously the family and that, and they were just like, yeah, it's really good that you're not on it. And yeah, like,
Yeah.
yeah, very supportive people.
Well, we will talk about your family as well. I want to go into obviously some really traumatic shit you faced
Yep.
when you were young. You were 12 years old, right?
Yeah, I think, I was 12 years old.
When you lost your little brother,
Yeah.
who was 6
6, yes.
at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, how did that happen?
So he had a thing called juvenile arthritis, and it's a bit of a blur how it actually happened, but yeah, I was pretty much at the skate park with Juzzy, and then my mum pulled up and she was just going off her brain, and I was like, what the fuck's going on? And then I had like all my stuff at the skate park, and Juzzy's like, you need to go. Like, so I just left it all there, boosted up to the car, and then she dropped me at my nan's house, and then they went up to the hospital where he was at because he passed away in MattyG. And then I was at my nan's house when I heard about it, and then just shit hit the fan. And then like that was like a big moment. I was like, what the fuck? Like, because I was only like 12. I've never experienced anything like that. So it was a bit different. But then we all jumped in the car and then went up to MattyG as well. And then that's when like I seen him, and I was just like, fuck, this is crazy. Like it was like my first time seeing him in like, it was like a week. Like, yeah, because he used to, when I first started doing YouTube videos, like when I was like 10 or 11 or something like that, and he used to film them. And then we filmed a video, and then pretty much the next day he left to go to MattyG, and I didn't see him because I just went to the skate park. And then a week later, I just get told that he's just randomly passed away, and I was just like, what the fuck? Like,
And did he pass away from what he was struggling with?
I think he was
it
sick. I think he got sick off something. But yeah, I think I can't remember perfectly, but yeah, something happened and he just got really sick, and then just, yeah.
So obviously that's an autoimmune
It
disease, right?
was something
so
about
he can't
autoimmune.
fight off infection the same way a normal 6-year-old can fight off
Yeah,
infection.
yeah.
That's fucking heavy, man.
Yeah, it was pretty surreal. And then, yeah, like the funeral and that, and then I just remember like it was just, yeah, it was different for like months. I was just like, what the fuck?
Do you have other siblings as well, or was he?
No, I got a brother that's a little bit older than him, and then I got a younger sister.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
And was she alive she was born at the time, or?
I think she was young. I think she might have been like 3 or 4 maybe.
Right, yeah.
Something like that. I could be wrong.
Yeah, fuck, man. That's really fucking heavy.
Yeah. Yeah, it was pretty. But I feel like it was like, I don't know, it's not like a good thing at all, but like that happening to me early, it like kind of just made me realize like how precious life is. Like,
and that's good you can take that from that. Because,
yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I mean, life is so fucking fickle, you know,
Definitely.
like just, I think people don't realize that. People who haven't experienced loss like that, especially when something's so sudden, you know,
Yeah.
when someone passes away before their time,
Yeah.
I think it is a big wake up call to really, really appreciate every moment, even the shit moments, because it's part of life.
Yeah, definitely.
How did that affect you growing up from that point on?
I mean, it was pretty shit. I think that's one of the reasons why I was just smoking every day, because I was just like,
Sort of like disassociating.
yeah, I think that was a big part of it. And then obviously, because with the whole scooter riding thing, I used to ride scooters with him, so that kind of motivated me to obviously be better as well.
Yeah.
And then just things like that. Like, I think when I realized, like, when he passed away, I was like, there's not really much videos to look back on him to, you know, see what he was like. So that's also what motivates me to go and make videos, because it's like, you know, if I died tomorrow or something, like there's videos for my family to watch and friends to watch, and then for everyone to watch, you know what I mean? So it's always going to be up.
There's a legacy there.
Yeah, kind of, yeah.
Yeah. I feel the same way about this. I'm like, you know, if I died, you know, there's 52 episodes of this podcast for people to watch, so that's pretty hectic.
Yeah, for sure.
And I've told pretty much, you know, a lot of my life stories on here. So
Yeah.
but yeah, that's it would 100% affect you in so many ways. Something like that, you know, I couldn't even imagine losing my brother, especially that young. That's so fucking young.
Yeah.
Are you religious at all?
I don't think I'm religious, but I do like.
You believe in sort of a higher power?
Yeah, definitely.
You believe like your brother's up there?
Yeah,
over?
for sure. Yeah.
I would say he is. Was he into like scooter riding as well?
We used to ride scooters together. I've actually still got his scooter at home.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's just like isolated hasn't been touched in years. But yeah.
It's like, it's a cool way to sort of remember him.
Yeah,
Yes.
definitely.
Yeah, I would say he's definitely looking over you, like, and, you know, helping, you know, make sure people recognize the work you're doing.
Yeah, for sure.
I think it plays a big part. I don't think anything happens randomly in this world.
Yeah.
I think, yeah, everything sort of, everything does have a reason, you know. Sometimes you want to believe that because it makes it easier when shit things happen.
Yeah, definitely.
But I think as you go through life, it things start to make a bit more sense, you know.
Yeah.
When, you know, you think something's so horrible at a time, and don't get me wrong, losing your brother is the worst fucking thing. Obviously, you would wish that didn't happen, right?
Yeah.
But I think when it can lead to appreciating other parts of your life, I think that's a fucking
definitely
pretty awesome thing.
Yeah, for sure.
Now we will talk a bit about obviously growing up. I don't know what happened to my mic then. Sorry. Growing up in this area, right?
Granbrook.
You're a lover of Western Sydney,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
What do you think? Do you think growing up in this community impacted upon obviously your love for scooter riding and that? Do you think if you lived somewhere else, you would be the person you are today?
Definitely not. No, like I don't know. I just love the area. I think it's taught me so many things. Obviously wouldn't have met the boys, and that's a big part of who I am today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think to me, you know, the Hawkesbury, growing up in the Hawkesbury and Penrith area and the Hawks and Western Sydney as a whole, I think we're very lucky, you know. I think it's a real community vibe out
Definitely.
here. And, you know, there's a lot of shit put on us, but I would rather live here than fucking anywhere else.
Yeah, for sure. It's like a brotherhood. Like
100%.
Everyone's got everyone's back. Like
100%. And, you know, I look at people who, you know, born and bred in the fucking, you know, in the city or the eastern suburbs and that, and they're all fucking wankers.
Yeah.
They are all wankers.
Yeah.
I would go as far to say I fucking hate those cunts.
Yeah. Yeah, they were just like two completely different types of people.
Yeah,
Like,
obviously there's good eggs everywhere and there's bad eggs everywhere,
Yeah.
right? 100%. I've met some really good people from out those ways as well.
Yeah, definitely.
But it's just different.
Yeah.
It's just different to here. It's not the same. We have this community spirit. We have this, you know, we're all from the West.
Yeah.
You know, and we represent that shit and we love it. And I think that's it's what makes us the best place to live in Australia.
Definitely.
100%.
Yeah, for sure.
Thank you very much for coming in. I do like to end my podcast with my guest giving advice to anyone watching.
Yeah.
Anyone who's been through the same things you've been through, anyone struggling with their own sort of addiction battles, or anyone who wants to start, you know, making content online, what would be your advice to them?
For the drug addiction, if you want to stop, you got to stop. You got to want it to obviously do it. Content creating, you just got to believe in yourself. You got to like actually believe in yourself, want it as bad as you like need to breathe air, and then nothing's going to stop you. Like you just got to have a plan and just attack it. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, just go for it. Just go for it. If it's quitting drugs, go for it. If it's making content, go for it, for sure.
100%. Thank you very much for coming in.
Thank you very much for having me.
And remember, guys, speak free with MattyG.